What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video we are talking about how GameStop is opening up too early. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so I was just doing some research on some GameStop news, and I ran across an article that said two things. One, GameStop's executives took a pay cut. We'll talk about that. And then also that GameStop is reopening in the next coming weeks. So we're going to kind of break both of these down, and I want to kind of talk about both of these and kind of let you guys know kind of the facts that have been laid out, and then kind of what I think about things. Now, first off, we're going to talk about the executives taking a pay cut. And first off, I want to say, why did it take so long for this to happen? We are like 6 weeks into this, and these GameStop executives aren't doing anything. Now, I realize that some things go on in the background. They probably are still doing some work, but they're not getting a tax or a pay cut. But all these people are laid off, or they're not working at all. So what's happening here? Well, the CEO is taking a 50% tax cut, which is pretty huge. Or was it 30? One of the two. He was taking either 30 or 50%, and then the rest of the executives, I think is 30% for the CEO and then 50% for the rest. I might have those flip-flop. That's not a huge deal. But what is a huge deal is, why did it take them so long? 6 weeks where they told people, we can't pay you. You're not coming to work. We're gonna have to run out of money for leases. I've heard leases have gone up, and they're like trying to decide whether or not a store is going to close because they didn't pay the lease or not on the building. So it's very irritating that GameStop's executives and their higher ups are getting paid a huge amount of money still, when people can't even get paid by GameStop. There are stores closing down because of this, and I think those executives did a poor job. And so, if anyone, they need to be taking the pay cut 6 weeks ago, not those workers that lost money. But I digress. Now let's talk about GameStop's situation right now. They're talking about opening stores up in the next few weeks around the world, and some in the United States. Not fully in the United States, I think, because of like certain like city and state ordinances. But they are going to try to. And so I was reading, it was like Italy, Germany, places like that over in Europe, they were going to open up. But the GameStops here in America weren't, or were kind of, but not fully. So I find this interesting. We're here 6 weeks into it, and the curve for the United States and people getting sick, or have been sick or are getting sick, is just exponentially going up. Now, this is a scary thing, because when things reopen up, that means it's going to spread even more if it's still around, because people are going to be ready to get out of their houses. They're going to want to run out and do stuff, and I think that's a scary thing. Now, I will say that they're being somewhat precautious and not opening up every store, but I think we're gonna have some issues here. Now, GameStop is a big company, and they're gonna employ a lot of people, and that's a good thing that they're employing, but it seems like they don't really care about those employees other than the people that are making the big bucks, which is the upper management. So they're ready to start opening stores, but what does that exactly mean? What happens to those stores that have been closed for 6 weeks? Do those people that were working there still work there? Or have they moved on? Maybe they found another job that was open. Maybe they found a grocery store that they could work at. Maybe they found another job. Whatever it is, how is GameStop going to be prepared for this? Now, say they wait 2 weeks to reopen these stores, that's 8 whole weeks, which is the equivalent of 8 months, not 8 months, 2 months. And so I think this could be a problem for GameStop. They were at this point where they were cutting stores because they couldn't even afford to keep them open. And then all their stores basically got shut down. Now, some of them stayed open with that delivery at door, and that was just a terrible idea. They say it's contactless, but you still gotta walk up to the store, and you gotta reach your hand in that door to get stuff. You're still coming into contact. It's not like they're leaving it at your front door like if they delivered, which they do if you buy online, but not if you buy from a store locally. Now, the next thing. I fear that they're gonna be opening too early. Now, what does that mean? Maybe people get sick, maybe people don't get sick, but it provides that place where people can go out and meet in groups of potentially more than 10 and spread it to a bunch of people. From what they've said is the coronavirus affects each person that gets it, spreads it to about 3.8 people. Let's just say 4 people for that matter. So if these one person has it and he goes into a store and infects 10 people, that doubles, or not doubles, it quadruples to 40. So it goes from that 10, the average is from 10 to 40, then go just exponentially growing. And that's a fear that I have of people going to stores, especially at this point in time. I don't think it's time to reopen. Now, what are they losing monetarily? I don't think they're really losing too much monetarily, because in my mind, what GameStop should be doing is closing that store to the public and saying one person can work there at a time. So if it is a manager of the store and their assistant manager working in a day, that's okay. But I think they should have a way to say, hey, we can still ship and sell things, but we've got to do it in a smart manner. And I think that is where GameStop has failed. And we all have admitted that GameStop has failed, and GameStop catches a lot of flack or hate for that. But GameStop is doing this all wrong. I think opening up now is just going to be a disaster, and I think what we're going to see is kind of the trend is kind of going to be the same. Places are going to open up, it's going to skyrocket, and then we're all just going to have to be shut down again for longer. Now, what does that mean exactly for us as gamers? GameStop may not be here at the end of this. Like, if GameStop comes back and then we're all shut down for another 6 weeks, 8 weeks, another 3 months, I don't think GameStop has the funds to do that. Now, if we go back the last few years, you'll see that they've been losing money hand over fist, which is absolutely crazy. And maybe this will be like their best quarter in like the last 2 years. Who knows? I don't know exactly how much they're spending, but I imagine that since they were losing like like $500,000 a quarter, I think without being this huge company that's running, I think they're probably going to do a little bit better than that. So what does this mean for GameStop? It could be a great thing, it could be a terrible thing, but GameStop, I think, is opening up too early. Now, some of those places that they're opening up were hit hard when it first started, and then it's kind of trailed off since then. But those are still places that have it, and they're active, and it's growing. Like, it's not just, okay, there's not days of no one getting it. They're still getting it, and it's still spreading, and that's scary. So I think this is a time that we've got to really stay at home, stay in your house, buy games online. If you have to buy a game, buy it online. I don't think I've bought a game here in April. I may have done it whenever they opened the delivery at door. I gotta remember when that was. It was either right at the end of March or right at the beginning of April. But I haven't gone out and looked for things. I haven't been finding stuff. And I've been trying to stay safe. And I hope you guys do too. This is a serious thing, and I think we need to be smart about this. And rushing into your GameStop because you've been stuck at home for 6 weeks, I don't think is a smart idea. It's not an essential business. They didn't close down until like 2 weeks ago, maybe, completely. Now there are still some open at the delivery at door, but GameStop just hasn't really done anything that has amazed me or even really helped people be safe. And so I want you guys to see this and think about your safety first. Wash your hands, social distance, stay away from people. But at the same time, be smart about it. If you're gonna buy a game, buy it online. You can buy it from GameStop directly shipped to your house. Now that might cost a little bit more to ship it, but what's $5 compared to you being safe? So with that being said, I want to see what you guys think. Comment down below. Were the pay cuts a little too late? Are they opening back up way too early? What do you guys think? I want to know. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And honestly, guys, I love making videos and everything that's going around. I want you guys to stay safe and be safe. So social distance, stay home, wash your hands, all that stuff. Make sure you're safe because I want to say thank you so much for watching and make sure you have a good day.